Hi everyone, this is the video on how to create and set up a cross-section count and how to collect a cross-section count. If you haven't watched the turning movement count video yet, please watch that first, as I will go over a lot more information in that video, and I will not be going over the same information in this video to try and keep it a little bit shorter. So first, just log in. Once you have an account, new study, you can go to project details, project type. So instead of turning movement count, we'll be doing a mid-block cross-section count. Select that there. You'll notice that this disappears and the setup looks a little bit different now. It'll ask you for the interface layout. Select horizontal. We'll be getting rid of this vertical option, I think, so just keep it as horizontal and I'll explain more later. The street orientation, this will change either northbound, southbound, or eastbound, westbound annotations depending on which directions you are collecting on your mid-block. For this example, I will be doing the Burrard Street Bridge, so I'll be selecting the north and south annotations. If you were to collect east, if you were doing an east-west running street, then you would select east-west annotations. Location name, Burrard Street Bridge. You'll notice this section here, the legs to count. This is similar to what we did in the turning movement count, but you'll notice there are a lot more options. We have every part of the cross-section template here and the direction they can do. So we have all four sidewalks for north, east, south, west, and the directions the users will travel. We have the roadway with all four directions. So if it's a northbound, southbound annotation, you'll be doing either northbound and south. Sorry, you'll be doing either northbound or southbound. We'll have the north bike lane, east bike lane, south bike lane, west bike lane. Of course, a lot of cross-section counts you'll be doing won't have bike lanes, so you can just leave these. I will be doing the Bride Street Bridge. In this example, I will open up a screenshot of what it looks like. So here's the Bride Street Bridge. You can see where my mouse cursor is. This is the east sidewalk, east bike lane, because our north arrow is here and is pointing this direction. So this will be the roadway northbound, and then on this side will be the roadway southbound, where these vehicles are here. It's tough to see, but there's the west bike lane there and the west sidewalk there. So back to your setup. If I were to assign this count, I would probably do the east sidewalk, east bike lane, and northbound roadway, just to split it up. And then if I were responsible to do the entire thing, I would later create another count and do the west sidewalk, west bike lane, and southbound roadway. But again, for this demonstration and example, I will be doing the east sidewalk, northbound, southbound, the northbound, southbound for the east bike lane, which is here. Most people will be traveling northbound because it's a one-way bike lane, but of course there'll be people going the wrong direction as well. So try and collect both, but uh, just a note, you'll see a lot more northbound traffic here. And then roadway northbound. So highlighting these green boxes here indicates to myself and whoever is doing the processing which legs this count is responsible for. So when you finish and complete this count, I'll quickly be able to tell that this file has the east sidewalk, east bike lane, northbound roadway. And then if you were to do another count of the same, if you were to do the other sections of this count, you would toggle roadway southbound, um, west bike lane, and west sidewalk, and then unselect these boxes that are currently highlighted, and I'll be able to tell then which you are responsible for. A reminder that selecting these boxes won't change how the next screen looks. It'll just indicate to us which ones you're responsible to collect. Collector name, I'll put my name here. I think the date is February 3rd at 11 a.m. Yeah, February 3rd at 11 a.m. So you can select that here. This sometimes is a bit sticky. I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I select, okay, it worked quickly that time, but sometimes you'll need to try 2 or 3 times to get that date function to work. The start time is 11 a.m. So I will set this to 11 a.m. and let's make it until 1 p.m. So you'll notice it says a.m. there, but if I type in p.m., it'll populate. The weather condition in this one is cloudy, it looks like. So I will, let's say partly cloudy. Again, notes are if there's anything out of the ordinary here, construction or some sort of closure or event may be going on, but I don't see anything here, so I will create study and go right into the Burrard Bridge. Oh, that's weird. It says this page cannot be found. Let me try setting it up again really quickly. Mid block, horizontal, north-south annotation, Broad Street Bridge. Let's do the east sidewalk, east bike lane, and northbound roadway. J. Prier is the name. February 3rd. Here's that sticky thing I was talking about, but yep, there it goes. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Partly cloudy. No notes. Great study. There we go. That worked. Very nice. So I will now show you side by side in the video what I am talking about. Right, 11 a.m. So I'll make sure that is paused at 11:03. That's probably yeah, 11:02. So close enough. I can run this for a couple seconds, try to get those clocks to match up. So perfect. 11:02, 11:02. I am not going to go over what all of this extra stuff is because I did that previously in the turning movement count. All these features are the same. You'll notice that vehicles and pedestrians are split up, but it's still the standard six. Um, that's kind of how it is in the Jammer board. How we in the TMC we combine class one to peds and vehicles, but for cross sections we separate them to class one and class two, or whichever it might be. But I wanted to go over this portion here mostly. Um, so this is meant to reflect that of a cross section count. So you can see we have the sidewalk here. The north arrow is pointing up. So this is the west sidewalk, west bike lane, the roadway southbound, east bike lane, and east sidewalk. And we want it to reflect what's going on in this video here. You'll remember from the screenshot before that the north arrow is pointing sort of towards us, kind of where my cursor is this way. So I want to flip this north arrow, rotate it the same way to match that orientation of the screen. So now you see the northbound arrow is facing down. The annotations have changed. So now this is southbound, this one here. This is northbound. This is now the east sidewalk, east bike lane, roadway southbound, west bike lane, and west sidewalk. Perfect. So again, yeah, you can rotate these arrows and it'll change the output of everything. Now I will show you just running the video what it looks like. So I'll press play, play at regular time. Say our imaginary arrows here. Remember, I'm only doing northbound vehicles, so not collecting these right now because those are southbound vehicles. But here we have vehicles here, so I can collect them there. You won't be able to hear it in this video, but there is an audible cue, like a popping, beeping sound. There's a cyclist there, but I see vehicle, vehicle, and then I'll go down to bicycle in the bike lane, and then back to vehicles and start collecting vehicles. Almost had a truck there, but again, and if hypothetically, if a truck and a bus were to come northbound on this roadway, I would go to bus, collect a couple of those, truck, collect a couple of those. There's a Lime scooter there, so I can go to micromobility, one micromobility in the east bike lane heading northbound. Looks like a cyclist here, so cyclist in the east crosswalk, or sorry, the east bike lane there. And then, yeah, back to vehicles. Again, you can undo, same as in the last video. Oh, that seems to have stuck, so I'll make sure that the undo button is working with Ali. Oh, there it goes. I'll double check to make sure that's working. Ali's our app developer. So say you want to watch this a little quicker, You can pause and pause, try and get the clocks to match up. Again, this will be easier when you are using a iPad and then a computer or another device to watch, two separate devices. It's tough to sync the timing when I'm just using one computer. But say we want to go to video mode and increase it to 2 times speed because I feel crazy and I think I can do that. I probably can't, but okay, so here's the video speed warning. It didn't work in the last video, but I've asked Ali to fix it. But when you increase the video time, this will work in TMC as well. It will prompt you to say, are you sure you want to count in 2 times speed? So you don't accidentally press 2 times speed. And then I will change the speed on this to 2 times as well, so the clocks will sync up. And start, start. So you can see the clocks here are pretty close to even, and the video is sped up, and you can count as much as you like. Here's a truck, so you can go down to truck, back to vehicles. Perfect. Yeah, that's pretty much how you do a cross-section count. Everything is the same. If you want to create new classes, you can do so by doing this, same as a turning movement count. If you want to change the location of the classes, you can do that by clicking this and moving them, same way as in a turning movement count. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that. So yeah, that's quickly how you do a cross-section count. It's the same. Um, Everything is mostly the same. It's just the button layout. The button layout looks a little different than a cross section, or pardon me, in a turning movement count. But it's supposed to reflect that of the old Jamar board. Thank you.